Okay, I'm gonna start today's video with the free daily pool. Let's see what we get. Okay, be sure not to click the wrong one. Okay, I'm gonna skip this. Okay, you know what? Maybe next time I will include the ad inside this video. I mean, the ads are hilarious. Okay, so anyway, let's start the video with our first summon. Alright. Okay, he's holding a branch though. Okay. Looking pretty badass, but I don't think we're getting anything from this. Okay, come on. Fight. Ah, okay, it's a blue text. So most likely R, rare. Oh, he got owned, so that's not a good thing, I think. Yep, okay. Okay, we get a rare, so let's start our video. Oh, I'm just going to the main menu. Okay, I'm coming back real soon, Elizabeth. Hey guys, Tanna here with another 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross video. Okay, that's a mouthful. I hope you guys are enjoying this game so far because I certainly am. I have been waiting for this as long as most of you did, and as some of you know that I actually played the Japan version for just a couple of weeks to prepare myself for global launch. So today, I'm gonna make this video using all those things I've gathered and learned the past couple of weeks for this beginner's guide. This definitely took a while because I want to progress to a point where I can make this guide, and on hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have done the Let's Play yesterday. Anyway, there's a ton of great resources out there and they definitely helped me understand the game better when I was playing the Japan version. Okay, close this. I'm not sure why the connecting takes a really long time, but okay. Okay, so first up, I have to say this game has a ton to do. Like, seriously a lot. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. So just when I thought that I learned enough, there's actually more, and I would say it definitely takes longer than most gacha games that I played so far. Like, I think it kind of takes the bits and pieces of the different gacha and made it into its own, which is great. I love what they did with the game so far. Well, except the annoying ads, but you know, there's pros and cons. We get it, it's optional, but hey, the rewards are not something you can simply ignore, you know. They're pretty attractive things like free daily pool, some free mats, and some free gold. Those things are both why we are playing gacha games and also crucial for the game's progression. Everyone have preferences, and some will prefer taking the ad over the discounted diamond daily pool. Okay, in Japan, the free daily pool via ad we have in global is actually discounted diamonds in their server. Okay, so instead of 3 diamonds, you pay 1 diamond. Simple as that. Personally, I'm fine with both their pros and cons. Okay, so before I cover the first part of the guide, I want to talk about rerolling. If you haven't watched the reroll guide, feel free to watch it. I'll link it in the description below. You can skip around with the timestamp that I included as well. Anyway, the unit to reroll if you're intending to get is green Meliodas. Okay, this one right here. Another good option is skinny green king, which is great for Grey Demon, but that won't happen until you get to, I believe, chapter 6 or something. Even if you decide not to reroll, it's perfectly fine. You can clear the story as well. It's just that green Meliodas helps clear the story content a lot faster and earlier. Anyway, let's begin with the first thing in this beginner's guide. I'm gonna be talking about the very basics, combat. Let's get into a combat. I actually managed to finally clear some stamina here. So okay, let me just complete my daily task, which is this one here. Okay, so holding grudges, I'm just gonna use this as example. Okay, so this is my team right now. I'm kind of lacking behind a lot of people because of the Let's Play. But I am doing a lot of catching up today, so wait for me guys, I'm coming. Okay, so combat is the core of the gameplay for almost every gacha, and of course, besides the gacha itself, wait, let me just pause this. Wait, let me pause this. Okay, but most of the time the content itself is in the combat, be it PvP or PvE. Combat in this game is done via cards, and cards represents the skills. So instead of 1 skill per character per turn, we get a maximum of 3 skills regardless of character per turn. So what this means is you can have, say, green Meliodas. Okay, you can have green Meliodas use 3 of his skills per turn. Of course not the first turn, because first turn they'll give you 1 each. As you can see right here, it's always like that. I believe this is a random card. Okay, so potentially you can get like 3 Meliodas cards, and then you can actually use 3 of his skills. So in this case, King can actually go 3 times if I do that. Okay, like example, like 1, 2, 3. But I'm not gonna do that right now. Okay, so you can actually use Green Meliodas to use 3 of his skills per turn, and the other 2 can just sit back and watch. This actually gives you a lot more options and tasks, more strategy and combination per turn, which makes you plan ahead. Okay, cards. Let's talk about cards combination. When planning, how you use your cards is the key to victory, especially in PvP. So you know there are different level of cards, and 2 main skills can go up to level 3 each. Card level matters, but plan accordingly. You can choose to drag and combine them. Like for example, there's like 2 cards right here. Oops, Butterfingers. You can combine here as you did in the tutorial, and you go to level 2. But when you do that, you actually lock out one of the skills, which I usually don't do that. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this first turn to explain further what I'm talking about. Okay, and then you get new cards. So another option of combining the cards is let them do it naturally. Personally, I prefer using 3 cards and then use the upgraded cards when they are combined naturally. So that actually takes just a little bit more planning, so it's not like too troublesome or anything. Exception might be when I really need that level 2 fossilization right here. So at level 2 fossilization, what it gives is the extra petrify for 1 turn. That is really strong. What it does is actually it locks out one of your enemies in combat, so especially in PvP that is really strong. But for now I'm just gonna do it naturally. So how you do it naturally is simply just using cards like this, and then you'll naturally combine it. So for King's healing power, level 1 actually remove debuffs only, and level 2 onwards it actually heals your team. So if you want to heal, you can plan accordingly. So but I'm actually full health now, so I'm just gonna combine them and just gonna do some DPS right here. So this is how you can actually plan ahead. For now, Meliodas doesn't do a lot of damage with his counter because the opponents are actually pretty weak as well. So they will combine naturally, you know, when 2 of the same kind actually meets. Now we covered the basics in combat. I want to talk about making your team stronger. Okay, now we covered the basics in combat. I want to talk about making your team, or rather your characters, stronger in battle. Okay, so there are a number of ways to actually make your team stronger. Let's take Green Meliodas for example. Okay, so you can actually enhance them, aka level them up, evolve them, also known as awakening them in other gachas, or use dupes to skill them up, and finally with gears. They are all very important in making your team stronger, so let me explain them one by one. Okay, first up is enhancement. Okay, basically you can level your characters naturally via combat, or you can speed things up via potions. They also use gold, so keep that in mind. Almost everything needs gold, and like in real life, you need a lot of gold, aka money, to do stuff. So potions can be obtained via the SP dungeon. We'll be talking about that later. Next is evolving. Okay, you see a bunch of books right here. Okay, once your character hit a level cap, so right here you see this Ssr. So once he hits level 50, you are ready to take him to the next level, which means you have to evolve him or awakening in other gachas. Okay, you need a bunch of different books to awaken your character. Okay, they need different types of books according to the rarity. So for example, Ssr Meliodas right here, he needs 3-star green books, 10 of them, and then the gold one, 4-star, he needs just 2 of them, and finally the rainbow book, which is the 5-star one, he needs 1 of them. And more importantly, the very precious commodity for evolving is this evolution pendant, which is the rainbow one. If you have a bunch of Ssr that you need to awaken, then you need a bunch of these. So right now I don't even have 1 of them. Okay, so one thing to note, the attributes actually matters when awakening your characters, evolving your characters. So for example, Green Meliodas actually requires all the green books you can see right here, whereas Blue King right here, Blue Skinny King, for evolution he actually need the blue books instead. Okay, but the pendant is all the same. And finally, we talk about awakening. Okay, so each character can actually awaken 6 times in total, and they require awakening materials gathered from different stages of the world map. Since the game is super friendly as usual, just click on what you need and it'll pull out a list of locations you can gather from of those stuff. Okay, so for example, I need this thing called usable armor fragment. Okay, so you just click on location, it will bring out the list of places that you can actually obtain this stuff. You can even buy some of them from town, but obviously they won't come cheap at all. So you can decide if you want to use your gold, or you can farm at the different locations. And finally, we talk about ultimate move. These are basically where all your dupes go. So if you put the same character, you can actually level up their ultimate move. And there are a total of 6 levels, so you only need 5 dupes to max out the ultimate move. To pull the same character, yeah, you gotta be playing for a while to do that, or unless you will, and then just for wheeling. Okay, so now let's talk about where to get all the materials for strengthening your characters. So go to chapter 1. Okay, there's this SP dungeon, Fort Progress. Okay, so this is the SP dungeon where you will spend a good amount of time farming all this stuff. So in SP dungeon bracket Fort Progress, there are various types of farming location in the SP dungeon itself. The one right here on top is events. These are the materials you can get from the event dungeon. Okay, so these are the list. What is required is actually this thing called event dungeon key, so it doesn't cost your stamina, so you can use them to actually run your event. Okay, so like example, let's go in. Okay, so it requires one of them. You can actually do this. I'm actually not at the right time to do it, probably a while later. One thing to note are the books right here. Okay, so you can see that green Meliodas definitely need the green books, which I've only done until 3rd floor so far. So the higher you go, the more stamina requires you, and the higher the enemy powers are as well. If you have 10 stamina, you can actually run this. They'll actually tell you what type of materials actually drop, the books actually drop from the dungeon. So if you need to evolve Green King, you can actually come here. So this, you can actually, you know, just here bronze, silver, and gold, and these are the books that will drop. And finally, for gold, you can actually farm from here. They actually give you 10 keys, well, which I have not used. I have used, and they will refill, I think, about 1.5 hours per key. So feel free to use this. And for events, I believe it's once a day that they refill this. I believe. I could be wrong. Okay, so let me know in the comments below if that is not accurate. Okay, so the gold stuff are here. The gold supplies are here. So they are basically, yeah, different level of gold that you can get. Okay, 240, okay, 6,000, and okay, so on and so forth. I covered where to get the awakening materials. We are gonna talk about gear next. Okay, let's talk about gear. Okay, go to equipment. So these are the gear in the game. Okay, just like in Summoner's War, if you have played or similar games, they have different sets, which is indicated at the top right corner of the item. Okay, right here. These are actually not stats, but more like the sets. Okay, so if you click here, you can tell 4 set actually gives you 20% extra attack. And when you click here, they actually show you 2 sets actually give you 20% extra defense as well. So it depends on the set which give you the bonus when you equip them. It will either be in pairs or in fours. So just scroll through the list here and you can quickly see how many of those sets you require to equip on your character to get those bonus. So example here, this is attack. You can actually see the details here. It's actually called onslaught. Okay, 4 set equal to attack 20%, defense 2 set actually gives you 20%. So you can actually equip 3 sets of defense. So if you have full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it actually gives you 60% bonus defense. And then for life, it requires you to have 4 sets to have 20% extra health. And then all these other different types of sets. Okay, so you can check out right here. Okay, they even have life steal. And like characters, there are rarity for gears as well. So they range from common, uncommon, rare, super rare, and SSR. I don't know what you call it, super rare. Okay, SSR. Okay, so there are 5 types of rarity. And then the gear stats, like in Summoner's War, are random and you can actually reroll them. You can see right here, these are actually the substats when you enhance them. Okay, defense and HP. Okay, so let's just enhance them. Okay, you can actually use this consecutive enhance and then tap 5 to max out the level. Okay, so there's a percentage of chance that they might actually fail at a higher level. So right now it's still like a relatively low stage, so I don't think it will fail at all. They actually has like a failure rate or something like that. So once you are done with the enhancement of the gear, okay, I'm sorry, there's a failure. Okay, after awakening once it actually fails. Okay, sure. Okay, it fails again. What is this luck? Okay, so you can actually awaken your gear and it requires you to have this awakening stone, which is the blue one here. Okay, the red one is actually for you to level up your gear, so you actually need a lot of stones. And you can actually get stones from salvaging your gear, okay, from Dian. So for example, right here, this slot, which is the ring slot, you want to get attack and nothing else, only attack. So you're gonna aim for attack percentage. The rest doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna do this for example, even you get max crit damage. So there are actually like 4 different types of attributes you can get. For ring, you definitely want to get attack. So this is what I'm gonna do now. And why am I using common gear? Because rerolling stats is extremely expensive the higher it goes. Imagine how many times you have to reroll just to get attack stats. Okay, it's 1%, but that's good enough. I'm just gonna leave it here. So what gear rarity to use? Rare, common, uncommon, or SSR? Okay, the lower tier gear like rare, common, and uncommon can reroll stats using gold. And the higher rarity SR, SSR, they actually require diamonds to do so, and it can be really expensive. So what to do for us beginners? Okay, so for starters, we recommend using C gears for the right side. Example, for ring, earring, and also the orb, okay, which is the rune. So for all the sets, try to get to 12% as much as possible. Okay, anyway, the max you can get is 15% for your attack, so try to get 12% each. And then same goes with defense and also HP. Okay, I think I got a pretty good roll for HP, so max is like 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So 15 is the cap. So when you are ready, you have like a decent amount of gold to reroll. Try to aim for 12% for each gear. So look at that, it's like 12% each. Okay, so the reason for C gear is the rarer it gets, the more expensive to reroll the stats. And for the right side, the difference is too little to justify the cost of the higher rarity. The base stats, they actually give very little compared to the left side. You can see right here, the right side 89, left side 234, and this is like more than double. So at a higher rarity, the difference is a lot. So it makes more sense for players simply upgrade the C gears to max out and reroll C gear for the percentage substats. Okay, as you can see, once again, right here, you can have 5 substats here. Okay, so for the left side, you want to get SSR gears for the left side, which is the bracer, necklace, okay, and also finally the belt. So try to get 0 star, but plus 5 SSR for this. So just replace the SSR gear when you find a better one. So don't need to reroll. It only costs you 15,000 gold to plus 5 all of them, all the SSR. So the left side gear differences between the rarity is a lot bigger, but you don't reroll for SSR substats. Only level them to maximum of plus 5, because rerolling SSR substats cost diamonds instead of gold. Okay, so where to get C gears? The easiest place to go, let me bring you right there. Okay, in chapter 1. Okay, I'm actually in chapter 1. And then go to Vanya. Okay, so for shortcut, you can just click on the equipment shop when you unlock it. Maybe I should have gone another village. Yeah, maybe. You look like a yak. Okay, so C gear, you can actually just obtain them from the merchant right here. Everything costs only 2,000 gold. Okay, so pro tip, you wanna buy multiple, you can actually do that. So it only costs you 12,000 gold for the full set. Purchase complete, and you are done. Okay, and back at the tavern. Okay, Diane here, after you unlock her, I think in chapter 2 or something. So you can salvage your equipment via Diane to upgrade your gear. So for example, say I do not want all the uncommon. I don't want to use uncommon now. So you can actually salvage them. Salvage ultra success. So you actually need all this to make your gear stronger as well, awakening and such. So anyway, I will probably come back and do a guide just for gear, since it's actually worth making a video just for that. Gear can be quite complicated at times, but once you understand it, it's actually pretty easy. Okay, next I want to talk about town. Town is actually something more important than I initially thought it was. Okay, it essentially locks a lot of stuff like the harder difficulty in stages, and task SSR gear is locked behind them. Okay, let me just get out. I just entered, but I need to get out. Okay, so for example, if I want to farm SSR gear here, okay, so I don't really know why I can't scroll past this, but anyway, the SSR gear is actually locked via the friendship. So reach Vanya friendship level 5 to actually run the SSR stage to farm for the gear. So in different chapters, they actually have different gear sets, and then you have to raise the different friendships to get the certain gear that you want. So like example, in chapter 1 is the attack set. So it's actually really wise to max out your friendship in Vanya. Okay, level 5. They actually tell you what is unlocked whenever you raise the friendship level. So level 3, there's actually pop-up shop. And then level 4, donations unlocked. So you can actually raise the friendship by throwing coins at them. Okay, yeah, just in real life, that's how you build friendship, sort of. And there's this level 5, there's deathmatch rate bonus. So additional increase to deathmatch rate for this chapter. Okay, so I want to talk about something next, which is in chapter 3. I actually just obtained him like, I don't know, 1 hour ago. So in chapter 3, you will unlock a really strong unit. He is Ssr King in chapter 3, which can be used practically everywhere. So investing in him, even though he is essentially a free unit, he is a good choice. So what makes him so strong? Okay, let's briefly talk about it. Okay, so King has 3 skills. Okay, so the first one is fossilization. At level 1, it only deals 200% damage attack on one enemy. But on level 2 onwards, it actually gives petrifies. So petrify basically stuns the unit and the unit cannot do anything for 1 turn. And in level 3, it actually petrifies for 2 turns. The only downside for petrify is the effect is removed when the target is attacked. It isn't as strong as say stun or something like that, but this is good enough. You can actually disable one of the characters. Secondly, he also can remove the buff from all allies at level 1. Once again, he actually need level 2 onwards to heal all allies by 30% at level 2, and finally at level 3 it heals 50%. And finally, this is just icing on top. He actually does 420% damage to all enemies and ignores resistance, which is really strong. So King is definitely one of the units, especially as free-to-play players, you want to put him in your PvE team and also in PvP team. Okay, and I want to talk about chapter 4, which I'm actually not there yet, probably really soon. So chapter 4 actually unlocks another of your free daily diamond besides the clear free stage 1. It actually unlocks PvP. Okay, so PvP is unlocked in chapter 4. Okay, next let's talk about the heart of gacha game, which is the gacha itself. Okay, as you can see right here is 3 diamond for a single pull and 30 diamonds for a 10+1 pull, and the rates are 3% for SSR. For global, we have a watch and ad to get our free daily pull, as you saw in the beginning of the video. In Japan, they actually pay 1 diamond but no ads for the daily pool. Right now there are actually 5 banners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the first one is the only banner you can use the diamonds to pull so far. Personally, I'm gonna wait for the next banner to pull because I don't think I want any of the characters here. So I'm gonna wait for the next banner. The second one actually uses Ssr tickets we get every week by daily login. So every 7 days you get this ticket where you can draw a free Ssr character. So every week 1 SSR. This game is just generous, even though Netbubble did some really weird stuff with monetization. Okay, the other 2 uses another type of ticket which we will not be talking about today. And finally, we will get the last tickets as rewards, as you can see right here. I don't even know if I want to pull any of this. Probably not. I think I just want to save it. Okay, I'm gonna do some research before I pull on that. Also, you can actually check what unit is on a banner just by clicking on the rates button. So 3%, and then you can see all the different SSR is included in the banner, and also of course SSR, the normal SR. So these are actually all the units right here in this banner, and the percentage of pulling the individual units. If only they added the portrait as well, I don't know, beside or somewhere, then you'll make checking things easier. Okay, last but not least, okay, let's touch on the miscellaneous stuff. Very importantly, player info. So in player info, you can actually change your player name every 24 hours, which is pretty nice. But I'm just obviously gonna leave it. And then greetings. Let me just promote my channel for I don't know what reason, since I have nothing to put there, just because. Okay, and then there's a friend code here. Okay, copy. Okay, you can copy here your friend code and ID right here. Okay, you can copy all the numbers. Okay, remember to bind your account in case you lose it. Okay, I'm gonna do it right now. Okay, connected. Okay, they actually have a reward when you connect your account. So if you want to get like 6 diamonds, you can actually just connect them, or if you want, you can just use a dummy email, something like that. Okay, anyway, I will link my friend code in the description if you wish to add me as well. Okay, next I want to talk about the game settings. Okay, the game settings right here. Okay, very important for emulators users like myself. Please turn this off if you want the AFK farm. The power saving mode, it can be actually pretty annoying when this is on. When you're using your stamina and it stops because of power saving, you know, yeah, you get what I mean if you actually use that. Then you can also turn off the animation to save power or speed up your farming, which is right here. Skip animation, ultimate moves, and actually on this skip animation move to village, I don't actually see the difference, but I'm just messing around with this. But I really like the animation, especially the ultimate move, so I'm actually keeping this on as well. I mean, so I believe that's about it today. I mean, I think it's a really long video today. And honestly, it took me an entire day to do this because mostly I want to finish rushing the story. I actually read and watch everything because the game is so good. Okay, I'm really enjoying the game so far and having a blast. And of course, it keeps leveling up, so I have to keep progressing further in the story. I hope holding back a little to make this guide helps you guys understand the game better. This is obviously at the cost of me uploading much slower compared to the other YouTubers. And of course, the earlier YouTubers upload a video, the better, especially for things like beginner's guide, rerolling guide, you know, yada yada, things like that. But in my case, I just wanna fine tune as much as possible for you guys, even though I actually prepared this weeks in advance. The game only launches like, you know, yesterday. Same goes with you guys. Although I'm aware that some YouTubers actually received the game much earlier, probably months before. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learn a thing or two at least. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below or on Discord. I'll try to help, even though I believe there's many things I still don't know about the game yet. Okay, every day I learn something, which is awesome. If you ask me something, I'll go find out and I'll get back to you. And subscribe for more 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross content. I'm definitely making more since I've actually already planned out a couple more guides in the following days. Hopefully, like this video if it helped you, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.